Bottom left side, there he is again. The Dragon Phoenix Gamer himself. The Blue Zerg. Rogue. And the Wild Man. Shopify Rebellion's red Terran player. It's BYUN. So yeah, when these two fought in the GSL, didn't go too swell. For, if you want to avoid spoilers, make sure to mute it for a couple of seconds here. Yeah, didn't go too swell for Mr. BYUN in the end there. And yeah, maybe he'll do better this time around. Maybe he'll do better this time around, but oh well. Not sure if the people are ever going to be aware. I'm not sure how I'm going to notify them. It's spoiler free now. Just type it out quickly. Spoiler free now. Okay, there we go. Hopefully they saw that. Smart. Using my brain here. It's because I play StarCraft. Yep. It's because I play the StarCraft. And that's why I also lack communicative capabilities. Because all these gosh darn video games ruining my brain. My grandparents were right all this time. Second base here for BYUN, gonna be nice and early. That's gonna help him out with the mid game here. Overlord's not gonna be able to sneak a peek up there, but you know it's fairly safe to assume that there's a command center there. Did he see the second gas, guys? No, he didn't even see the first one. He saw barracks and not much else. Maybe the marine coming out of the barracks. Which I guess means that Rogue just wanted to ensure that there's no barracks out on the map. Feels kind of late to be checking for it like that, although the Overlord path is not too long on Blackburn. Regardless. Triple barracks opening here for BYUN should be a way to allow him to get aggressive on the map, keep himself fairly secured, and perhaps grab himself a quicker third command center as well, since he won't need to grab a second gas as quickly. It's going to allow him to gather up a bit more minerals, of course, a bit more quickly. See if he goes for that, though. We have been seeing Terrans going off the 2 base very aggressively as well with this type of build. You just quite quickly throw down a factory and a starport as well, and then you just start building away quite rapidly. Now, Rogue's still kind of curious as to what is happening inside of the base of BYUN, finding it's quite difficult to figure it out. So let's see what kind of safety precautions he's making. He's grabbing himself a Roach Warren. And against the triple barracks, I mean, the Roach Warren, it can work. I think the Banelings would always be a little bit more optimal. But the Roaches can work, right? They should work. Like, Roaches versus Marines in the lower numbers. The Roaches usually win that battle. Especially if it's going to be on creep. Especially if it's going to be with the support of Queens there as well. Which is, you know what, coincidentally, all checked inside of the base of Rogue, right? pretty standard there. Move out for BYUN here, starting to commence. Small clump of Marines in the front, hoping to confuse any small Zerglings. There we go, like that. Right, keeping the majority of his army hidden. Now that the Marines have been spotted, he knows that he's been spotted as well, so he's gonna try to keep everything together in case he does run into the main force now of Rogue. Gonna send those SCVs in front. There we are. He's brought a lot of them with him here into the battle. Normally you want to be mining with these boys, but they might do really well because actually Rogue did not go for the Banelings, of course. He went for the Roaches. The Roaches going to take a lot longer. Those SCVs are going to be able to tank a lot more shots, but will it be enough? I don't think so. That was just a big sacrificial slaughterhouse right there. And that did not work at all. That just made BYUN look like an absolute baboon. It's no nice way of putting it. That was just abysmal. That's abysmal gets. So yeah, Rogue now on the counter-offensive here. There should be enough Marines with the reinforcing units of BYUN here to hold this off rather easily. Even gonna stim. I guess these Roaches don't have speed just quite yet, so they are stuck now fighting these Marines. Otherwise they will just be shot to bits anyway, trying to run away. Will there be another stim committal here by BYUN? He's not quite sure how many Roaches are there still left to be chased. Looks like they are going to get away here. Alright. Not that many on the map though. But Rogue did secure about 60 worker count versus, well, 36 here. Close to double. Close to double. And unfortunately, most of that, of course, coming out of the self-inflicted wound, let's call it. The self-inflicted slight fall down the stairs there, with all the SCVs being held in a glass jar and exploding on the impact on the ground. Nifty little drop. Now gonna try to start some multi-prong harassment, I would assume. The main force is gonna start moving across the map here momentarily as well. Ah, okay, checking for the gold base. That is smart. That is smart. If Rogue is just happily mining from that location, it is going to be a priority to try and deal with that situation here. Oh my, he's doing it again. He's going for it again. And guess what? That is a infiltrator. There's a traitor amongst these boys. There's a changeling seeing absolutely everything right now. Everything is being broadcasted to the main bulk of Rogue's army. That means he's going to be able to set up defenses here. Look at that. Even putting down evolution chambers to tank some of the damage and make it difficult for these SCVs to start melee combat. Is this enough now for BYUN? It's looking a little bit better. Needs to dodge the biles, but with the medevacs, is he going to be able to sustain himself here? No. No. Nope, he's dead. He tried. But yeah, the reinforcements of Rogue here should be able to clean this up now. 10 more Roaches and a heck of a lot more Roaches here. There we go. BYUN with a valiant effort trying to make a secondary push work there. Rogue, well, I mean, he was pretty casual on the workers there, right? Only went up back to 66. Alright, so BYUN not really working out there with that previous attack. A little bit of a bummer. If he had gone without those SCVs in the initial push, he may have been able to set himself up for a later game, right? Didn't have to attack then with those Marines, but bringing the SCVs along, that kind of puts you in a situation where, you know, if you just turn back, being like, alright, well, I guess you prepared for this, and I guess you're ready for this, I'm just not gonna attack right now, then you just, well, 14 SCVs worth were not mining for, well, I don't know how long it takes you to run across the map, figure out that Rogue is, you know, not really in a position that you can break, and then move back again, right? That's got to be pretty close to half a minute, if not more. It's a wild guess there, but that's what I'm assuming. Maybe more, actually, right? Was it like, how long does 20 seconds-ish to get across the map? I don't know. I'm making myself look like an absolute baboon right now, or very smart. And, well, Finance said that I'm not sure about it. Maybe I was gonna look very smart from, you know, some people their perspective. Didn't know that before. But yeah, here I am. Backtracking on my words. We see a starport and a tech lab starting up around the same time. Could be an indicator of Banshees, but... I mean, siege tanks are pretty good as well. Maybe just one siege tank? No? Okay. BYUN does really like playing with Ravens also. Could be an idea here for him, perhaps. But most likely it will be Banshee. It's the assumption. Yeah, alright. Now, Rogue is not really in a position to be able to scout that it will be Banshee. He doesn't have an Overlord anywhere near beyond space. Well, he has one, but the trajectory for that Overlord to scout would mean he passes by 2 Marines that, you know, are going to be 3 and then 6 Marines very quickly. So the Overlord, his chances of actually getting there in time, quite slim indeed. Then again, I mean, it's not uncommon for the Zerg to, you know, just make Spore Crawlers just in case anyway. Because there is a lot of potential from the Terran to attack from the air. If not Banshees, it could be Liberators as well. And then you would like to have those Spore Crawlers. Sometimes it could just be the medevac, right? Just being able to zone away the medevac could be a big deal. But so far, not a single Spore Crawler anywhere out of Rogue and his lair. Actually only starting up right now, so this is a ton of trouble for this man at this moment in time. Already going to lose quite a couple of drones. The Banshee there not giving chase as quickly as it could have, perhaps, to those drones. Checking to see the natural base right there. Now seeing very happily right in this moment. No Spore Crawler just quite yet here. It's already 8 kills, 9 kills. Should be able to get up to 10 here. With a little kneeving micro. Trying to avoid the... Oh, he's almost out of energy as well. Okay, does get 10. Now needs to get himself out of there. Second Banshee. Did he ever make a secondary Banshee? Yes, he did. Comes in from the other angle. Will provide some cover for the other Banshee if that manages to get out. It's going to be a bomber for Rogue. Nah, it should be able to get... No! It manages to escape. Alright. Calm down, BYUN. 14 kills right there. That's already quite sufficient to have paid for those Banshees. That was wonderful aggression. BYUN definitely making those pay for themselves. Now continuing onwards to utilize them to provide high ground vision for the Marines to shoot down Overlords. Trying to snipe down active creep tumors that aren't invisible just quite yet. Man, Rogue's really good with infiltrating the Marine squadrons, isn't he? He's getting changelings absolutely everywhere. Okay, it got spotted now. But it did take a while. You got a good eye on the exact size of BYUN's army, and that's very important for the Zerg in particular. Zerg always need to know how many drones can I get away with? How, or more precisely, what would I need in order to be safe right now against this army of the Terran? And how quickly do I anticipate it growing from that point, right? Realizing it is a 3-base economy. That's a certain amount of money coming in, so that should be around the, what is it? At least 3 barracks, factory and a starport. And we have the 2 extra barracks already available as well. Yes, okay. So yeah, so 5 barracks right now. Quickly producing units. Wow. Oh my god. How does he do it? How does he do it? This man. Evil genius. That's what he is. It's a callback right there, but somehow managing to just get these changelings in BYUN's army every single time. Managing to avoid the eyes of BYUN and the eyes of the observing here. Oh. BYUN getting a bit feisty on this edge of the map. Right, now he should know, right? Now it should be obvious. Especially when he picks them up in the... yeah, okay. Oh, fun with changelings. So, overall, this game kind of developing here, right? Rogue trying to establish more bases on the map. Wants to grab as many as possible. BYUN here trying to slow that down, trying to stop this enormous monstrosity of a macro engine from Rogue to be booting up as quickly as it can. Therefore, he is attacking right now, trying to force more banelings, trying to force more zerglings instead of drones to appear. And hopefully trade as efficiently as possible in the process. The attack of BYUN here most likely won't be able to successfully kill Rogue, but it needs to trade well. And that is banelings coming from every which angle. BYUN making the most of it. Overall, that could have gone worse. Let's hope he does still have enough reinforcements. Yeah, okay, there they go. Now is able to stop the Zerg from moving on forwards. So, yeah, I think BYUN kind of did his job there. Let's take a look at the resources lost tab. And that is definitely looking pretty good for him. Many more resources lost there for Rogue overall. Almost doubling it overall. Widowmines now starting to get involved as well. There's a strong unit against the army composition of Rogue here. Just pure Ling Baneling still going around. Starting up his Hive tech though. Looks like that is nicely going to finish up with the 2-2 upgrades as well for his Lings. And potentially Ultralisk here as well. Would make sense that that is the next step in the plan of Rogue. Since we still don't have a Spire or a Hydralisk Den or anything else of that matter. Still some nasty connections there. I don't know what happened to BYUN. Not managing to lift up his entire army. He was starting to lift up, but then maybe he was accidentally clicking the medevac that was already filled up, so the rest of the units not being picked up there. Well, sometimes what happens is that you... Ooh, Widowmine drops. Hold up. Hold the phone. The drone's not moving at all. Okay, only 5 of them go down, but still not a great reaction from Rogue there. What was I saying? The micro with something? We saw the Ling Baneling fight. I forgot. Widowmines. Alright, well, regardless. Drilling class coming up. Liberators here. Also starting to be mixed in. That's a great addition to the army of BYUN. I mean, Rogue now starting to move up to Ultralisk, but as those Ultralisk are popping out, there will already be Liberators out on the field ready to meet them. So it looks like BYUN is fairly ready to keep this going. Rogue here trying to scramble a couple of units into the Widowmine field, trying to set them off as much as possible without having his entire army blow up in one shot. Has to be extremely careful. Not an unlikely situation after all. Alright, Bankstar getting a little bit shy. I guess they were about to roll into just a wall of marauders. Still a lot of juicy marines behind them as well. Rogue here, I think these are his last moments. As BYUN, I mean, his army has just been trading out so efficiently throughout this game. Look at that, with still more than double extra army supply lost. Well, not supply, overall value lost here by Rogue. And even though he's, you know, somewhat pushing this backwards here once again, it's costing him absolutely everything he has every single time. He's gonna get Ultralisk now, but we should have Liberators, right? No, we don't actually. I think those just ran off, but... Well, yeah, it just was not doable anymore. 70 extra supply in the bank there for BYUN. Well, let's see if this one is a match where both these players can deliver some reasonable blows to one another without one of them immediately falling down onto the mat. Dragon Phoenix Gamers, Blue Zerg, it's Rogue. And, of course, the bottom right side, the red Terran, Shopify Rebellions, BYUN. Well, looks like we are starting off with a little bit of cheeky play here. BYUN's grabbing 2 barracks in the middle of the map. It's not too close to Rogue, though. I mean, this is still a large distance to cover. Maybe he's planning to float them down onto the low ground as soon as they're finished. Maybe that's the plan, because otherwise you would have to walk around this entire area still, which is going to be quite a walk. I mean, it's going to be quite a walk regardless still, but I guess the journey back to his own base is going to be shorter because of it. Huh. So I guess just the further back you put your barracks, the less likely it is that you're going to do damage. But the more likely... Oh, right, yeah, you can just mine out those minerals, can't you? Yeah, of course. Of course, there's minerals there. Kozan, you... Oh. Of course. Right, that means the bunker goes down. Overlord was already in a good position. One drone being pulled down to the low ground to start making a spine crawler. So Rogue's taking this very, very seriously. Shows that the first bunker does get cancelled here. Goes for the second attempt at building a bunker. The drones this time around avoiding contact with the bunker, trying to go for the surround. One marine does fall. One more marine. Oh, looks like that is another surround right through his gut. He is nibbled by those drones now. But just ensure that the final bunker does get destroyed as well. And the cancellation is taking place here. BYUN, we're assuming this aggression with Reapers from this point onwards. We'll be making 2 Reapers at a time. Not sure for how long he's planning to do this, but, you know, well, he is the Reaper man after all. So maybe he's going to find a way to make this work. If anyone can, it's going to be BYUN. Although, that being said, I've actually seen Cure do that as well at some point in time. Funnily enough, I think it was against Rogue as well. Already stopping that Reaper production. Not gonna try to risk everything here on snowballing this slight moment where these Reapers are still quite a danger. Queens, of course, they do manage to deal with them rather efficiently here. Oh my, is he gonna keep all those Reapers alive? Yes, he is. BYUN, he is a magician with those Reapers, isn't he? My, oh my, that was close. Just throwing those nades like an absolute madman. It is ridiculous. Okay. These Reapers, they are getting so much value right now. That I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for Rogue. Speed is about to be finishing though. Well, it's just a little bit longer. And the Reapers are gonna be easy picking, so at least they should be. If not too many Zerglings die before that happens. It looks like BYUN is catching on to this fact, so he's trying to kill off as many Lings as possible. To even further delay the moment where Rogue will finally get rid of these Reapers. There we go. Now the battle is here, and you know what? It's not enough Lings anymore. 10 more Lings have to be made. He killed 14 Lings in total already. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. He killed 10 workers and 14 Lings with a couple of Reapers there. That is magnificent. And you know what? Those Reapers are still alive. They don't call him Micro Jackson for nothing. And you know what? He's proving it once again. This is just magnificent. I can just have the camera on top of these Reapers for the entire game. And most likely, that's gonna be the best StarCraft 2 game we've ever seen. Alright, let's have a little bit of a look around. That ID failed quite quickly there. Third base for Rogue. And a third base for BYUN. It's a very well-timed base for BYUN. Actually, looking at the worker count here, those 10 workers dying off that early on really put a dent in Rogue's overall economy. Not just that, but all of those Lings as well. 31 Lings right now in total already dead. You can't just sit there without any Lings at all. You need to have at least a couple. And having to replenish Lings all the time means you're not building drones. And we've already mentioned that's quite a bad thing right now for Rogue. Rogue here without a Baneling Nest. Trying to reproduce as many drones as possible. Just not ready for the follow-up Hellbat push. And yeah, has to tap out. A great secondary attack there from BYUN. Coming in to finish off a well-hurt Rogue. Wow. Oh. It's magic. I'm telling you. He's made a deal with the devil. Did he? Yes, he did. He definitely did. Apparently he made the wrong deal, though. After, well, sorry. Don't want to spoil too much. It's not from this, but from the other tournaments going on right now. Although, to be fair, these games right here probably were played in the comfort of their own home. And that can be a big influence as well for some people, right? It's particularly BYUN with his injury. Apparently his wrist injury, not that bad at home, but in the studio with GSL, for example, right, can get pretty nasty. We have another armory finishing up, by the way. There will be another Hellbat push here. An attempt, at least, because this one, it's not looking all too great for the... Well, actually, nice pick up micro with the medevac. Does keep all the Hellbats alive. Almost lost one of them, but is still standing. The Baneling Nest, once again, quite late for Rogue here. Definitely seems like that's a bit of a timing here, indeed, for BYUN to burn all these queens to crisp. I thought the Queens were going to be enough, but then just more and more Hellbats showed up, and, well, it just became too much to handle. One Hellbat there, very low on the HP, but will not be able to be targeted down by the Queen. A couple of Lings here trying to just deal with everything that is low. The medevac is low on energy as well, after all, so it's taking a really long time for anything to regain back some health here. Oh, don't tell me you're targeting the medevac now. This is rough. Guys, I'm not quite sure what to say. Hellbat pushes. They're back. They work again. I think it is a very quick one though overall, right? Because the Baneling Nest like nowhere near done. Wasn't that many units either, like just the Hellbats and then a very few Marines. Previous Hellbat pushes that out, at least that I've seen, were a little bit later. And would have a couple more Marines trying to gun down the Queens like that. This time around we've had the Hellbat push there, do a whole bunch of damage a lot earlier, and then later on the rest of the money seemingly being spent on trying to get Banshee aggression off the ground as well. As we have that clearly being the case right here. This Banshee definitely harassing is how I would qualify this. Definitely quite a bit of harassment going on here. We'll have to make sure Rogue files a police report after this series is over and dealt with, because we can only imagine how he feels right now. That is just abysmal, isn't it? Although his work account is still at 56, it's not fantastic. He is still on 3 base. Let's take a look at the unit's lost stat. Oh, oof. Okay, well, that is rough. He's definitely playing from behind. Still losing a couple of drones here. 2 more do fall. Can't believe it. How is this still happening? How is he still killing more drones? How? Tell me. 6 more, just like that? He just scoots on by. He's just like taking a sightseeing tour over the Zerg foliage right there, and all the nice the forestry and such. And meanwhile, like 20 Queens are chasing him, spore crawlers left, right, and center, and he gets 6 drones. That's just how he operates. Oh, no way. That is... No, my god. I wasn't even going to mention it. I thought that would be a cancel for sure. At least, like, the benches would be shooed away. But then it's just a straight-up kill on that hatchery. That is 300 minerals gone. And 50 more minerals because there was a drone involved as well that's gone right now. So that's quite a bit of dough gone down the drain. Rogue, you have quite a deep hole to dig yourself out of. Also, what's up, AK? How you doing? Thank you for dropping by. Oh, Zerglings. Finding the worst enemy of the Zerg right now, those Banshees once again. Baneling speed is about to finish up, but it's not quite here yet. Oh, those Marines! A massive misclick right there from BYUN. Having all his Marines move forwards straight into the Banelings. I'm not sure if that was an attempt to target fire the Banelings, or perhaps because the medevacs, he was trying to move the siege tank onto the high ground. And perhaps the Marines thought this would be a quicker way onto the high ground, going through the upper ramp rather than the lower ramp. I'm not entirely certain. It's possible that we're around here, so it's questionable. But anyway, those Marines definitely took a wrong turn, and they, well, they're not living to regret that mistake, that's for sure. But it's not good that they're not. It's because they're dead. It's not great. Alright, so Mutalisk are on the field right now. Rogue here. Definitely managed to stifle the aggression capabilities of BYUN there quite a bit. Take a look at the resources lost tab. You know, it's still okay for BYUN here, I would say, right? particular with the base count in mind. He's starting to grab himself a 4th base, although that being said, we do have a 5 base economy on the way here for Rogue. Is he going to try to fight this? Okay. Thought he might be able to, but we'll lose quite a couple of Mutalisk. Doesn't want to lose them so far, at least. Can, of course, still be more and more Marines coming in if you do try to commit to a smaller group. Just 3 more drone kills, just like that. 7 in total right there, just being picked off once again. You know what? We'll have to check. We'll have to check. 16 and 15 kills on those Banshees. 16 and 15. That is a ludicrous... Oh my. Okay, looks like stuff is happening here. Hold up, guys. Let me process. Okay, those Marines... A couple of them got hit, it seems, but most of them were picked up. Oh no, BYUN! What in the what? It looks like BYUN a little bit busy, preoccupied, trying to deal with Mutalisk, and while this is happening, BYUN just sending in banelings into the Marines as they're clumped up. Quite a bit of nifty multitasking. These two guys trying to jump back and forth between those 2 tasks, and BYUN having a shorter end of the stick, that is for sure. +2/+2, about to finish up here for BYUN though as well, as we have +1/+1 only, just about to finish up for Rogue. Upgrade advantage clearly in BYUN's favor, and I imagine that it's going to be for a while, as you know, the +2/+2 needs to start. Then we'll need the Hive tech as well available for Rogue to start the +3/+3. Whereas BYUN, he can start them up right away, as he is already looking for them. We still wait a little bit longer for that weapon attack, of course. Not sure if I like this. Okay. Guess he was just trying to do multi-pronged harassment. Mutalisk and Zerglings coming in at the same time, but both areas here seem pretty comfortable with dealing with the situation here. That is an ungodly amount of Mutalisk. Got 21 right now flying up in the sky. Hopefully not going to get caught out by this big clump of Marines, though. That would not be their best matchup, especially with a Thor there as well, ready to provide anti-air firepower. With a mine there being set off, even managing to drag it into an SCV. That is quite funny. Oh, BYUN doing some fancy SCV micro here. It's not enough, unfortunately for him. Does keep a fair chunk of SCVs alive that probably otherwise wouldn't have if he hadn't done that bit of micro, but he's still losing a lot of them right now. These Mutalisks still not dealt with either. Ooh, with the mines. Yeah, they are not going to burrow quickly enough into the ground without the drilling class upgrade available. Planetary Fortress on the top side gone. That means BYUN back at 3 bases right now. And that is definitely a problem, seeing how Rogue has pretty much gotten up to 6 here now, and going uncontested for quite a while on the other side of the map. BYUN deciding, you know what, I'm not going to push while I'm having to deal with Mutalisk at the same time, but if the Mutalisk are just there at all times, that means you're never going to attack again. And you're just slowly losing SCVs here and there, little chunk of units. Oh, that's a pretty reasonable bailing hits there as well. It's a tackle of BYUN. Will it be enough? He has a good amount of army supply, but it just seems like there's so much Zerg here. There's just no chance. BYUN's gonna break through. Sending in more reinforcements. That army supply for Terran always can be a little bit deceiving, as there is, of course, a lot of it still in the production as well. To be fair, The same could be said about full Ultralisk and like 70 Zerglings, of course, for the Zerg as well in this up in the production tab then. But oh well. GG is called. Rogue manages to scramble back in that one with quite a nice little Mutalisk harassment play. We've got a best of 5 right now with both players 2 points in their name. Top right side, a blue Zerg from the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Rogue. His opponent from the house of the Shopify Rebellion, the Red Terran. Give it up for BYUN. Indeed, indeed, it is a Twitch stream. It's on my own little channel here. Basically, I mean, it's not a bad thing to say, right? We do a lot of stuff on the Alpha X YouTube. And in order to fill up on content as well, we try to grab some of these other games from other tournaments that we did not organize ourselves usually, or if something happened wrong, right, we grab these replays, we grab these cool games that we found, and we think, you know what, let's try to give a cast of this ourselves and then put it up on the YouTube. Right? It's a good thing for the team, helps them get a little bit of extra income. And keeps the wheels and the lights all going and flowing in the house of Alpha X. All right, so yeah, very much appreciate all of you hanging out, joining in, and enjoying this little session of watching StarCraft 2, and me just freaking out about whatever the hell it is they're doing because, well. It's just what I do. It's just what I do. So far. I mean, in this game, there's not much to freak out about right now, right? It's all standard again. I guess it's fun to see it being standard, because then we're going to see it develop later on, and we know it's going to get interesting later on anyway. Still a open game in a sense, right? If somebody starts to cheese, it's like, alright, well, the tree of possible branches that we can go down now in this game, they seem to kind of slink down a little bit. They don't always, right? But the possibilities for longer games and stuff like that, they decline quite drastically. Man, BYUN's really good with stopping the mules from mining as soon as they get low on the energy here. Quite impressive, quite impressive. For those of you that aren't that familiar with StarCraft 2, you're getting into it right now. This is like one of those really tiny, finicky things that pros do, right? And high-level players, if they have the time and nothing else is happening, right? You may as well. The idea is that these mules, they don't stay around forever. So if they grab a chunk of minerals, and then in that time as they've grabbed the chunk of minerals, they try to go back to the command center. They disassemble. Those minerals are just gone, right? They're out of this crystal, which only has a limited amount of minerals, and that could be a problem. Alright, we have another Hellbat push on the way, by the way, and the follow-up of the Banshees. So this is about to pick up the pace here, and once more, no Baneling Nest in sight anywhere. It feels like we have less queens as well, but we do have a Spinecrawler about to finish up, so that could change the equation here quite a bit. Spinecrawler could be really good at poking down, helping out with the DPS, but that's a good clean target fire from Mr. BYUN on top of that Spinecrawler. Good transfuse, keeping it up for a little bit longer, for a couple of seconds. That could be very valuable as the Zerglings now starting to spill in, and a couple of extra queens as well finishing up. It looks like BYUN, yeah, there are the other two Hellions that showed up seemingly a little bit quicker with the previous push. I'm not sure if there was a difference now, if it's just map layout or something like that. But yeah, those sort of two Hellions definitely coming in a little bit later. And the cleanup here for Rogue was seemingly a lot easier to make happen this time around. Huh. Spine Crawler there helping out also, of course. I mean, sure, he did a lot of damage on it as it was producing, but the Queens and the Lings still, I mean, they're still attacking you while you're trying to take out the Spine Crawler. You're still actively taking damage, right? Good bit of harassment right here. The Hellions definitely doing a heck of a lot of work right now. Getting rid of all of those Lings and now getting back on top of those drones. Oh my, that is not looking all too pretty for Rogue here. That is so many more drones that are going down here than that really should have. Definitely mismanaging his defenses here right now, as there is Banshees on the way as well. It looks like Mr. Micro Jackson once more starting to ramp up the pace here. 3 more Hellions coming on in, trying to get themselves into a safe corner. This time around, the Zerglings get a good surround, so they won't all be barbecued by the 3 Hellions. As happened to all those Lings over here with that, unfortunately, well, the unfortunate placed spawning pool there, providing a nice corridor for all the Lings to assemble and line up in a perfect shot for that Hellion. Yeesh. Oh, run by from Rogue is starting to try and bite back here. The SCVs are well-trained soldiers, though, of BYUN, as we all know. And that Banshee is still there as well, too. Ready to gun them down. Only 4 SCVs go down. It's not as many as, what was it, 26? Yeah, not as many as 26, is that? Yeesh. Rogue going back up to the Spire here once again. I think that's a good play. The previous game, it worked out really well for him. And that was the game where he was not in a great spot either. Mutalisk does seem to be the unit with which he can establish some sort of a comeback with usually. So it will be interesting to see if he can manage it once more. Third base for BYUN there, starting to land. Claiming its space in the world. Top of the food chain. Above all the mineral patches and gas geysers there. And these aren't just regular Banshees, are they? They are actual Banshees. Sure, let's try to make that a thing. Let's try to make that Banshees. Alright. 7 more kills just like that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. 6 Mutalisk now trying to come in here. And they are not getting anywhere near those. Actually, never mind. They do get 7 kills as well. Thought the Marines were already underneath them. And I guess BYUN was worried about the rotation of the Mutalisk into the main base. And really is trying to box them in. So, like, he's investing a lot of attention into the Mutalisk, trying to deal with them. But yeah, he's never managing to catch them, and that could be something difficult, right? Because if kind of what Rogue wants with these Mutalisk is that BYUN is actually busy with these Mutalisk, right? He's not out on the map. He's not bothering him. Rogue's free to grab bases left, right, and center. He's free to just keep droning up like a madman. That's what he wants. That's what he's trying to achieve right now. Another fight that Rogue can take here in the middle of the map. Good sniping going on those Mutalisk that were trying to rally across the map as well. BYUN, yeah, he seems in a really good spot still. Hasn't lost a big clump of marine. Yeah, okay. Was there just no Baneling Nest or something? Did he just skip the entire Baneling Nest? He did have a Baneling Nest, right? Just, okay, I guess he just didn't have the money for banelings because he tried to make something happen with the Mutalisk here. But yeah, alright, was just too far behind. That means that BYUN takes it.